Okay, for day 5 notes, the last example, example 5, it says write inequality from the graph. Write the inequality for this graph. So here, I have a graph that has some shading. It has a dashed line. So I know that I have to use one of these symbols. Okay? So first of all, let's find slope. Let's find y-intercept. And then we can figure out what symbol or what inequality we're going to use. Okay? So for the slope, far left point, this one, how do I get from here to here? I have to rise and then run. So I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went up 7, right 5. Now my y-intercept is, where does this line cross the y-axis? And that would be right here at -3. And I can see there's 0, so -1, -2, -3. So now I know this much of my inequality equation here, which really not an equation, more of an inequality. So I would say y something 7/5 x, so mx plus b, but I can't do plus because I have a -3, so -3. Now, if I look at all these symbols, I know it cannot be these because these have a line here, which means that line should be solid. That line is not solid. So those are no-go. From my starting point, my shading is down. Down is less. Okay, down is less. This is less. So I'm going to fill in my inequality with a less than sign here. Okay, for part B, the point is a little bit hard to see, but there is a point right here. And there is another point right here. Alright, so let's find M and B. So M, from the far left point to the most right point, how do I get there? Rise or fall? Fall. So I go down 1, 2, 3. And I go to the right 1. So that's a -3 over 1. And that reduces to -3. Now this line crosses at 2, 3, 4 at +4 on the y-axis. So I could say y something m is -3x plus b, so +4. So here are my symbols. I have a solid line. Okay, so I can mark these out because those are only for dashed. Okay. Now, go back to where you began, and is your shading up or down? It's up. So if I go up, that's greater. If I shade up, that's greater. So greater is a symbol here. Greater than, or, nope, I'm sorry. That's less than. Greater than or equal to. Okay, so just double check. Make sure we match. If it has that equal to line, we have solid. Okay. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about was slope. So here, my two numbers are positive. That means I have a positive slope. If I look at my graph, is my line rising from left to right? And it is. So the line matches the type of slope I've created here, 7/5, positive 7/5. Here, is my line rising or falling from left to right? It's falling. It's going down. So down is negative, and that matches what we wrote here. Okay, so a quick visual checking, like, do I have positive because I have a positive line? Do I have negative because I have a negative line? It's always good to double check your work there.